You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
And welcome, race fans, to Sim Racing Media's coverage of the All-American Racing League Blue-Gray Plastic Fabrication Cup Series and the Holyoke Cornhole Boards 200. I'm Cliff in the booth alongside Matt Metler. Matt, from the Windy City to Dover, race 4 in the season. What's in store for us tonight, my friend?
Well, before we can take you to the current date and time, we got to go backwards, back in time, as AARL took over the Windy City and the Chicago road course that was absolutely left obliterated as the purifier Kyle Purcell reigned supreme in the end. Lilith Peters had a run of the ages, got caught up in netcode tragedy on the final lap, but she remained on the lead lap. Now we fast forward to prime time tonight as these guys and girls get ready to do battle here on the Monster Mile. And it can only be what we want to say is Cornholio fantastic right here on this concrete oval. The nighttime is the right time. I am fired up, and I know you are. It's time for AARL.
You got that right. I'm fired up, too. I'm glad to be back in the booth here. Missed you guys last week. Heard you had a great time in Windy City. Taking a look here, Patrick McQuaid sitting on top of the leaderboard for practice as they're just finishing up here.
Yeah, Patrick McQuaid, a.k.a. Lightning McQuaid, and that 77 Chevrolet is sitting on top of the pylon tonight as of right now. Gonna have to wonder to myself, is he gonna become thunderstruck this evening and reassert some dominance in this series and come home with the win tonight? Or is it gonna be some of the other competitors that have come so close in this early season as we currently get ready to write chapter number 4 in the history books tonight? Lilith Peters, is it going to be a repeat winner? Are one of the Purcell boys going to be on top when it counts? All you guys and girls in the live stream right now, you got to hang with us right here on SRM until it's over, till we find out who takes it home in the end. But as we get back into this qualifying session here, which is about to start, I believe, in about 40 seconds from now, things just getting underway as we're going to end up or wind up practice here within the next 30 seconds or so.
I'm taking a look at things here, and I think we're just about finishing up, and they will get into qualifying here. Looks like Kyle Purcell now is actually going to take the top of the charts here with a fast 23:01. So got a fast car. Cameron Harris also fast tonight. Those three are some familiar names, and some of these front runners here.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Kyle Purcell and Cameron Harris want to best out Patrick McQuaid as practice comes to a close. And you're absolutely right. That 27 car and company are all front runners that we've seen at the front of the field at times, flexing some muscle throughout the early portion of this series. But Monster of the Mile is a little different. This is not asphalt. This is a concrete track, it's a high bank concrete track. That's a little bit of a tongue twister there.
You got that right.
So it's going to have a little bit of a different feel translating up to that steering wheel, to that driver piloting that race car here tonight. When that car goes to load in the corner, you get that little sense of weightlessness there. The back tires want to break free, especially as those Dr. Feelgoods become Feel Bads. And right now, as we start off qualifying, making their first laps around the racetrack.
Take a look there at Peter sorry to cut you off there. But Peter Terry, I just wanted to kind of point out our reigning champion there. And you got Patrick McQuaid on track now. A lot of these guys that are out on track. We'll take a look at some of them as they go around. But as they finish up qualifying and get ready to run this thing, Matt, what's your best bet for tonight? Who you pulling for?
No surprise, and this may come to a shocker as some, but I'm pulling for Lilith Peters. She has been so close so many times early on in this season, and I know you weren't with us last week, but that run that she had at a brand new course that I have never even laid eyes on until we arrived at the Chicago Road Course last week, and watching the way that she was able to execute while so many other big names in the series had trouble, really was a big eye-opener for me. And tonight, just like she's sitting on top of the pylon right now in that one machine, I'm taking Lilith Peters to bring it home, get the W here at the mile, or the Monster Mile.
So the number one car, you're expecting to be the number one car at the end of the night. I like it. Great picks here. Fast week in, week out. No doubt about that. Let's go ahead and see if we can actually get a word with some of these guys. A couple of drivers here are actually locked in. David Hera, it's Cliff and Matt in the booth, man. You got me? Well, kind of probably took you by surprise there. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do here. We're going to send him back and see if we can surprise the other driver locked in, Sean Purcell. As I said, only 2 drivers are actually locked in so far. Sean, it's Cliff and Matt in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
Hey, man, sorry to grab you by surprise there. Just wanted to get a quick word with you before we get to racing. Brought up that there's only 2 drivers here in the field that are actually locked in so far early on. That's got to feel pretty good. Let me know about that. What are you feeling?
Well, it's my first season running like a full-time schedule. I joined the Cup Series pretty late last season, so it feels good to have started off on the right note at Daytona, so I don't have to worry too much. Just trying to get more comfortable with this car so that once the playoffs come around, I'm ready to really compete. But I've gotten some good results so far, regardless, so no complaints from me.
And
Yeah,
well,
Sean,
go
Matt
ahead.
Metler here. And just to continue on what you were saying, you're darn right you have. And you've been, I think, a welcome surprise so far through the initial part of the season. You mentioned being locked into the race from having that great performance at Daytona. From a driver's standpoint, does that kind of put your nerves at ease a little bit? Are you able to go out here and attack these racetracks differently, knowing that you already have, or knowing that you're already locked in before you get here?
Yeah, for sure. I'm more willing to do some off strategies to try to, get off the strategy of the faster cars so I have a chance at winning if it works out for me. Or like at Atlanta, I made an aggressive move because I need to know what'll work and what won't. And this is the time, the regular season, when I'm locked in, I can limited consequences as far as making mistakes, so I can risk them more.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Purcell himself, able to take risks and chances that he might not take if it wasn't for being locked in to these races from that great performance at Daytona. Cliff, who else you got queued up for us before we kick things off here?
Well, go ahead and send Sean back. Sean, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight.
Of course.
And I was hoping to grab David Hara, but unfortunately he was not. He was unmuted, or he was all muted up, so we couldn't hear him. He probably couldn't hear us. But let's go live to the racetrack as these cars are about to start gridding up, and we will bring up the results from our qualifying session. And bring up our top. Let's start from the beginning here. That would help. We got Lilith Peters in that number 1 car sitting on the pole, Matt. You called it. Probably going to have a fast car all night. Evan Clapper's going to start outside of row number 1 alongside her. Patrick McQuaid, or as we've been calling him, Patrick McQueen, starting on the inside of row number 2 in 3rd. Adam Engerstein's going to start 4th. And we're going to have Sean Purcell and Kyle Purcell, the two brothers, starting in the row number 3. David Lorfano starting 7th. David Hara is going to start outside him, rolling across 8th. Joshua Hetrick's going to start 9th with Rodney Uberpacker starting 10th.
And let's bring them the rest of the way through the field. Starting 11th, that's going to be the Chevrolet of Cameron Harris, followed by the 72 of Jeremy Flanagan. 13th belongs to Cole Martin. Residing in 14th, the 67 ZL1 Camaro of Justin Horton. 15th, that's going to be the Peter driving that Ford Mustang. That Ford was fast last week. Look to see him continue on and carry that momentum into Dover here tonight. 16th belongs to Nathan Christensen. 17th, Christian Delgado. 18th, in that Chevrolet, Scotty Leonardo da Vinci. In 19th, Larry Garnes. In 20th, the 7, that Toyota Camry piloted by Travis Juggles Rodriguez. In 21st, Tyrone Yo. In 22nd, Jim Hubble. And rounding out the 23 starters here tonight in primetime, Johnny May.
Absolutely. As we said, we're here at Dover. Looks like a mild day today, but very hot on the race surface, 102 degrees. That's going to definitely play into it. I think we talked about tires briefly. I think we're going to talk about them a lot tonight. So here we go. As we said, we are here for the Holyoke Cornhole Boards 200 as these drivers will get rolling here.
And speaking of cornholios, it looks like Kyle Purcell, his connection dropped due to packet loss right before they decided to roll off the field. This may have some early implications on his race tonight, but I think he may still be able to get back in pending the severity of the issue.
Unfortunate right off the bat there. Without a doubt going to at least start a lap or two down, depending on how quickly he can get back to it. Because, it's a 1 mile track. We got quite the pace lap here, and then we're going to get to it. You can see on the pace truck here, the lights are off, so we're going to go green. I'm sure the number 10 Toyota team, Kyle Purcell, just going crazy here in the background, trying to get it back running.
While they're going crazy trying to get the connection fixed, that pace truck is going to pull off the racetrack. Let's see who's ready to tame the monster. Is it the 1 of Lilith Peters? Is it the 57 of Evan Clapper? Is it hit the Geico restart zone? She hits the loud pedal and she leads those boys thundering down into turn 1. And we are live underway here from Dover, Delaware.
The number 1 car in the number 1 position. Fastest around here for the first lap. Can she hold on to it for the night? We will find out, as 200 times around here at Dover for the Holyoke Cornhole Boards 200. We are well underway. Lilith Peters well underway, leading Patrick McQuaid here, but only 0.3 of a second back is Patrick McQuaid, so he's got something to say here. He's about to come up and catch the bumper here of the 1 car.
Yeah, that's right. Patrick McQuaid, a.k.a. Lightning McQuaid, continues to run down Lilith Peters, the current leader. But you got to remember, Cliff, tire management is very important on this concrete surface. They don't call it the monster for nothing, because miles will come up and bite you if you're not careful. But as you can see right now, at least for the top 3, top 4, we are single file and have some decent gapping, as I believe the caution flag has come out.
Yeah, caution's out right now. Noticed that a little too late. Apologize there, but we are trying to figure out what exactly happened here.
I think I seen a plume of wall smoke as we were cycling through the camera angles there, but I didn't see anything definitive on the racetrack. Could have possibly maybe been around the 20th position, but again, I'm speculating at that point.
It looks like the 2 car here, Tyrone Yo Jr. involved.
Yeah, and that Ford Mustang, that was going to be actually right around that 20th position. Like
Right
I
in
was saying,
front of- sorry to cut you off there. I think I found who it was here. Scott Leonard getting involved. I thought it was Yo. Well, let's go back. I apologize for jumping back a bunch of times here. Just couldn't figure out exactly who this was. Looks like the 7 car involved too of Rodriguez.
Yeah,
So-
it looks like somebody there broke traction maybe and got a little slideways, and looks to be a racing deal. The trailing car just had nowhere to go as we go on board here with the 28 machine.
Yeah, 14 was definitely loose there. And it looked like the 7 of Rodriguez just didn't really have anywhere to go.
Yeah, that unfortunately, that's what we like to call a racing deal, and sometimes we use that term loosely. But, I mean, that's unfortunately what happened. I mean, he just had nowhere to go, no time to react when you're going, 150, 60 miles an hour. It's just like, driving down the throughway at 85, 90, and you have a car cut across the lane right in front of you. You have no time to react, and the next thing you know, you're in it, and you're certainly out of it, and you can't win it. But hopefully, this early on in the race, I believe these guys and gals have 1 quick repair, so he should be able to come down pit road, get some work done to that race car, and come back out on the racetrack and still have a competitive shot here tonight. And if you're going to have an incident, you always want to have it early, give you enough time to rebound so you can make your way up front when it counts.
Well, the chat, is enjoying Patrick McQueen. I like to say either, Patrick McQueen, Lightning McQuaid, one way or the other. He's fast out here, sitting 2nd place. Chasing down that 1 car. I think he's going to have something to say about this in the long run. But we saw it early. Cold tires, hot, slick racetrack. It's gonna be a factor all night. We're learning this early. We'll see if they can get this together and get some green flag run under their belt and see what these tires can actually handle.
Well, that's just it. You hit the nail right on the head. Hot racetrack, cold tires, and I think that was the byproduct of the first incident we seen there on the racetrack. But Lightning McQuaid, he's a deep sleeper. What I mean by that car always seems to come on as the laps wind down in the run. Lilith Peters, though, always able to make consistent time around the racetrack. Very minimal fall off as well, so I agree with you. I think it's going to be a great battle up front in the early portion of this one between the 1, the 77. You might as well throw Evan Clapper into the mix, and don't look now, but that 00 Ford Mustang, Sean Purcell, he's right up there in the mix too. As we continue to be under caution, as we're currently undergoing eye-pacing out on the racetrack, but those lights are out on top of the truck, which means we're getting ready to turn them loose here one more time. We continue to go on board here, getting some of this great camera work from the great Cliff himself. Check out these camera angles.
You know, it's easy when the caution's out here and we don't have a lot of action. It's really easy to kind of start playing around with some of these angles, but as you know, once we get hot and heavy here, we don't like to take our eyes off of these cars.
But hey, thanks for showing us some of the new goodies we got up our sleeve. Big thanks to the master himself, Cliff, for showing off with those camera angles. We got more time than life. We'll give you a couple more once we got up our sleeve. As Lilith Peters gets ready to take these boys to the Geico restart zone, it's a drag race between the 77 and a 1 as they go barreling down the front stretch. The 77 is going to take the high side of the racetrack, come down to the middle line. He's going to try to cut underneath to the bumper of that ZL1 Camaro piloted by Lilith Peters as they're coming up to full speed, racing down the backstretch into turn 3.
A little bit of a possible, I mean, we lost him there for a split second. Looks like he's fine. If you all know the history of Lightning McQuaid, had some severe internet issues last season, which cost him what some may say could be a run at the championship. Here's solid tonight and so far all season, knock on wood for that young man. But on the bumper now of the 1 car, Lilith Peters, looking to pass.
Oh, knocking on the back door. It's not McQuaid. It's Lightning McQuaid. That's right. He is peeking on the inside of that 1 machine. He is feeling racy early on as he is just lurking inches off the back bumper of that ZL1 Camaro, trying to get that driver to make a mental mistake, very reminiscent of the great Intimidator himself. As we continue to look out the nose of that 57 machine, we'll go on board with Evan Clapper as he's giving you guys and girls on the live stream a view out the front of his race car, I believe from that gyro cam, doing a really great job representing just what it feels like in that race car at those angles through those corners.
The lap 10 complete here, 11 now of 200 for the Holyoke Cornhole Boards 200. Lilith Peters leading, jump through here real quick. Patrick McQuaid right on the bumper in that 77 Chevy. He's been sniffing there first place all night. Sitting silently there in second. Evan Clapper is going to hold on to third with David Lorfano the third in that 8 machine. He's been quiet too these first 10 laps. Right behind him, we got Sean Purcell in the 004. That's our top 5.
Well, how about your biggest mover of the race? And that's going to be that Ford Mustang, up 9 positions. That's Pete. Up 9 spots so far. This race, the biggest mover, silently working his way inside the top 10. That car is obviously working good early on. We'll see if he can continue that march forward. But before he does that, he's going to have to get around that double zero of Sean Purcell, who has been bad fast throughout these first 4 races of the season so far.
Yeah, he absolutely has, and you know him and his brother have both proven to be a force here in the AARL Blue-Gray Plastic Fabrication Cup Series. Sorry, I had to look at my notes and read that. I wasn't about to try to say that all in one breath without getting a look at it. That 00 car, bad fast here tonight, and sitting on the top of the leaderboard is really the most important thing to say about this 00 car. But also, as we talked about quickly at the beginning of the show here, he is locked into the playoffs early on.
Yeah, and we did, and that's, if you guys were around for it, we did an interview with him before we kicked off qualifying, and he said himself, he's able to attack these racetracks differently now. He's able to take some chances, and when you're able to take some chances,
caution.
And just like that, folks, we're just under caution again. Lightning strikes twice on the racetrack here, as we're still trying to figure out exactly what went wrong. But nonetheless, we are under caution, back down to pace speeds around this concrete oval right here in the heart of Maryland.
7 car is going to be the car here. That's Travis Juggles. We'll jump back when that caution came out here and see if we can see what happened. He's real loose there.
Yeah, I mean, that
all by himself.
Almost looked like he had too much brake bias dialed in it. I mean, the way that nose just took off towards the inside wall there.
Yeah, there may have been more to that story. We'll let's see if we can go ahead and get a better look at just what did happen here.
It looks like he broke traction. He overcorrected, and when he overcorrected, that concrete surface, like I was saying earlier, is going to give you problems, especially if you don't get enough practice time on it. Just the way that you recover the car is a little bit different on these types of surfaces. You see a little bit of a wiggle there. He catches it, overcorrects, and helicopters the nose off the inside wall. Going to sustain some moderate damage. Again, early on in the race, certainly you're going to have an opportunity to recover, but nonetheless, not what he and the rest of his team wanted to see, as we are currently working lap 17 of this one.
You know, and I just want to throw out there the reason I missed that is we had a pass for the lead right before that all went down, and you know, Patrick McQuaid had taken the lead there away from the one car, and I was trying to find where that happened because we were running through the field there, so we missed that, and in turn I didn't do a great job finding that incident, but it looked like, yeah, he broke loose on his own, overcorrected, had to catch it. So currently Patrick McQuaid's in here in the top position. He's going to have a handful from the one car behind him now, but my thoughts are, who's coming in for tires at lap 17, 18?
That is a great question. As you can see, pit road is a hot item right now, as we have some takers towards the back of the field. And if you got the Dr. Feelgoods, throw them on the race car. But at some point in time in this run, depending on how the trends of the race go, you're going to want to try to at least save a set of those tires late, because they are a premium here, especially at these speeds that these competitors are running here around this concrete oval.
So Tyrone Yo Jr., Kyle Purcell, and Rodney Uberpecker are takers for pit road. Everyone else staying out here, so feeling pretty good with the rubber they got right now.
Yeah, and I just think, if you're up front right now, that's a lot of track position to give up and come down pit road, especially with only 2 takers. I think if, it may have been lap 25, it may have been a different scenario, but right now it remains out front. That 77 has taken over P1 from car 1, Lilith Peters. So we're going to switch up the front row just a little bit. Now we're going to move Peters to the outside, put McQuaid to the inside of the racetrack. Evan Clapper is going to remain in 3rd. David LaFarno, the 3rd in 4th. And Sean Purcell rounding out your top 5 in that 00 Ford Mustang.
Yeah, behind him he's got reigning champ Peter Terrio in that 28 Ford. Still our biggest mover there, sitting 9 spots up from where he started. Hetrick going to roll on 7th, Harris 8th, Delgado 9th, and Adam Angerstein's going to round out our top 10 when we go green here. As they come down the backstretch here, I'm going to tighten up those belts one more time, get ready to go back to green flag action. We're glad you could join you here. If you're enjoying the show, go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification if you want to get a ping every time we do go live. We got racing every night of the week. Sometimes we do all kinds of fun reviews and other weird stuff. So be sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss the fun.
Hey, you don't want to miss the cornhole action going on right now as we're getting ready to turn it up back to the full send out here on the racetrack. Is Lightning McQuaid's going to get thunderstruck, and he's going to fire off. He leads the charge going down into 1, followed by Lilith Peters. Sean Purcell up 2 on the restart. Where did he come from?
All kinds of carnage here on the racetrack.
Looks like Miles the Monster got hungry for dinner and claimed the lives of a few race cars here on that restart. As Sean Purcell got a restart of a lifetime.
Take a look here and jump up closer to the front of the field. We had a missed shift up front. Lilith Peters having trouble getting going there. Did not want to see that.
Oh my goodness. The one. I'm not sure if she money shifted or missed a shift, but that back end of that car definitely stepped out like something went amiss with the gearbox. Oh, got on the loud pedal a little too hard. And it's just going to lumberjack the outside line. The accordion effect on full display.
I gotta say, that is very uncharacteristic of her. I'm wondering if she had some type of issues with some hardware, because that's a championship caliber team, and you don't see that every week or really any week from them. So interesting story to unfold there. Big problems there for the number one machine. Patrick McQuaid likes to see it. We got some takers on pit road.
Well, now we know how Sean Purcell fired up the leaderboard like that, but unfortunately, as good as Lilith has been, there has been these just problems that come left of center and just seem to plague that one car when you least expect it, and it happens again here at Dover. But again, not to sound like a broken record, but you have time to come. You got to keep your mental composure, keep your head on, come down pit road, go to work, let your pit crew do their job, make the repairs on that race car, and you still got time to put yourself in a competitive position. But back to the point, the 77 of Patrick McQuaid in that CL1 Camaro.
Well, you're absolutely right about the keeping your head in the game, letting your crew get to it, and that's where the championship caliber comes in. Anyone can come out here and really have fun and race, but when you're out here running for hopefully a championship, that's what you got to bring. You got to bring your A game each and every week, and when stuff happens, they say make lemonade. Well, let's see if the number one car can make some lemonade and get back out here.
Well, I assume it better be fresh squeezed. I could use some of that right up now in the booth up here. I'm a little parched early on in this one.
We're having a good time though. Lap 23 of 200 here for the Holyoke Cornhole Boards 200. It's the Blue Gray Plastic Fabrication Cup Series, the All-American Racing League. Matt Metler, Cliff in the booth. Miles the Monster's looking over us from the outside of the racetrack.
Yeah, Miles is looking hungry. He's already claimed the lives of a few race cars, and I don't think he's going to be letting up anytime soon.
I heard there's going to be a lot of wall banging here tonight. I'm not seeing a lot of that. I think a little slicker than they thought it was going to be, and some of these drivers are racing a little bit conservative, because I'm not seeing a lot of that wall riding they were talking about earlier before the race.
Yep, wall banging and cornhole are the two main topics of discussion right now. But don't look now, but that iRacing.com pace truck, he is on pit road, which means once again, we're going to put the green flag back in the air, and embracing his inner John Force, Patrick McQuaid rockets out in front of the field. But Sean Purcell continues to be one of the one of the Jedi Masters of the restart, as he's racing down on the inside of Evan Clapper, looking to take over P2. But that 57 is going to get a great run down the backstretch, take it to the high side of the racetrack as the 16 closes in on the back of that 00 machine, up 13 spots now.
Clapper and Purcell were drag racing there down the backstretch, but now Purcell falls back to third, and Delgado's up 13 spots, sniffing a podium position right there. That's a fast Ford.
Yeah, sniffing a podium. He's sniffing some rocket fuel right now, as he's got that thing set to FAST fast, up, like you said, 13 positions. Are you kidding me? That car is a rocket.
Let's jump back to 16th place here. Unfortunately, a little bit deep in the field, though, is Jeremy Flanagan. Shout out to the chat representing Zorku Nation Juniper. Thank you for reminding me. Jeremy Flanagan, the 72 car, is sitting here 17th place for Kaiju Cat Motorsports. See if he can make up some positions here and get some green flag runs going. Everybody chasing the 77 here. Go ahead.
Yes, everyone's kind of playing follow the leader, chasing down that 77. We really haven't been able to get a feel, these drivers haven't been able to get a feel for what their race car is going to do over the course of 10, 15, or even the course of the tire run, so they kind of get an idea of what to expect as we continue to march on in this race. And again, being a concrete surface, that's really important data, especially for these crew chiefs as they continue to make calculations on top of that pit box. Hopefully we can put a good run together here so these drivers can really feel out these race cars and figure out what they have in store for the long run here tonight.
As we run through our top 10, it seems like a good time for it. They're kind of getting spread out. McQuaid first, Clapper second, Purcell on board with him now in the 00, sitting in third position. Christian Delgado in the 16 Ford sitting in fourth as we look on the hood there. Looking ahead at the top three, strategizing right now. He's hoping to possibly take a top three here or possibly a win. On board here with David Harris running fifth in the 15 machine. Behind.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, just going to say David Harris in that 15. He's up three spots from where he started. Just cracked inside the top five. He's feeling racy early on. I'll keep running down through the field. We'll be sorry to cut you off there.
No, go for it.
You're running us through the field. In sixth, that's going to be the 27 of Cameron Harris, or in sixth position, Cameron Harris, up 5 spots. In seventh, Kyle Purcell in that 10. He's running that Toyota Camry TRD package tonight. In 12, Travis Juggles Rodriguez, another Toyota in the Toyota Racing family on display here tonight. Ninth belongs to Larry Guards, up 10 spots. So we have some big movers early on in this one, as you can see throughout the top 9, 10 positions, basically all green on the scoring side of that pylon for the biggest movers of the race so far. In 10th, Adam Angerstein. Those restarts giving him some trouble early on. He's dropped back just a little bit inside the top 10.
Yeah, Rodney Uberpacker too, dropping back 1 spot from where he started in this number 5 Toyota. Hailing from Eugene, Oregon. Peter Terrio behind him as they split the 43 here, 45 of Cole Martin. Terrio, our reigning champ, rolling 12th as we saw him split in the 45 of Cole Martin. I think that was Lorfano in the 8 machine. Having a rough night so far, dropping back 7 spots to 14th currently. Got a long way to go here though.
Is it having a rough time, or is maybe this all part of the plan due to the early incidences that we've had on the racetrack? Maybe almost like what you do at Talladega or Daytona. You drop to the back a little bit, wait for things to settle down in front of you before you decide to make the charge back forward again.
Well, those are great questions. I was just noticing here, we got the 17th position of the one Lilith Peters, shown down 16 spots, but really fighting hard to find her way back to the front, making some passes here on track.
Yeah, and she is, and she's currently marching her way back towards the front. But you just have to be patient. You want to race the race. You want to race the racetrack. Don't race yourself. Don't put yourself in a bad situation. Oh wow, the 25 and the 1 just about crisscross each other there. That was close. Exactly what I'm talking about, Lilith Peters. You want to try to avoid conflicts like that on the racetrack before you find yourself back down pit road again, having more work done on your race car. But those two continue to charge forward as we go back to the front of the field, looking at the top 5 right now. The 77 of Patrick McQuaid.
Jump back here real quick as we'll look at the pass for the lead that we missed. That right there is the 57 putting the work on the 77 for the lead there. While we were running through the field is when that happened. Currently, McQuaid has fallen back to 5th, so I'm thinking a little bit of tire fall off there for the 77, and maybe Evan Clapper was saving some of his stuff. But I'm thinking we're going to start seeing some of these front runners probably hit pit lane within the next few laps.
Well, that's exactly it, as we're already, even with the cautions in the early going, working lap 39. And I agree with you. I think, the early portion of that run with Lilith Peters and as hard as Whitney McQueen were running, I think those Dr. Feelgoods became Dr. Feelbads, and they're hanging on right now as they're waiting to get that call from above, from their crew chief on top of the pit box to come on down pit road and have service performed on their race car.
Well, no problem up front for Evan Clapper and Sean Purcell. At least they're making it look pretty easy. Gap in the field, pretty, not a lot, but these top runners are at least running pretty fast laps compared to the rest of the field. There's at least a half second there, 0.6 of a second back to second. So they're about the same back to third. The top three, like I said, a little bit of a gap there, but everyone else is hanging in there. We're getting some nice runs in now, and some decent green flag laps where cars, you can see, are starting to spread out around the racetrack and really start to feel out what they've got left, and probably starting to hope for either that yellow flag or the fuel tank to start needing something so they can come down to pit road and get some field goods on there. As we're about to hit a quarter of this race, and I know I'd be screaming for tires by now.
Yeah, me as a driver, I would have been about 5 to 10 laps ago, especially at this racetrack. But for these guys in this series, I don't think the master alarm has gone off quite yet, working lap 42. But you better believe it, by lap 50, as those fuel tanks continue to run on fumes, that back of that race car gets lighter, that tire wear and temperature increases. It's going to be a handful here, and not a very short while, in a very short time from now. And you see someone looking down there to the bottom of the racetrack. Wasn't sure if that was someone coming down pit road or perhaps someone just getting out of the way of traffic. There it is, the 14 machine.
Yeah, deciding to come down to pit road. Yeah, he hasn't been down here yet, it looks like, so this is it. I'm thinking we're going to start seeing a lot more of this.
Well, here's an interesting scenario for you. If this stays green, Willith Peters and a couple other cars that had trouble early in this one already have. So if this stays green, that one machine and others should cycle to the front of the field as all these drivers continue to come down pit road and make green flag pit stops. At these speeds they're running around the racetrack, that should open up a nice advantage for some of these competitors that had troubles early on.
Eli Radcliffe in the chat hollering out, "Let's go 77." That's Patrick McQuaid, aka Patrick McQueen, Lightning McQuaid. Having a good time out here running 5th. And I say he's out here running 5th and having a good time because his internet's holding up and he's happy to be here and able to race. 00 Sean Purcell, currently our
that
leader.
Was close. Oh my goodness, just off of you were watching the 00 of Sean Purcell. Disaster almost struck behind him as someone almost got doorbelled. It was I just happened to catch it as the frame was shifting towards focus on that 00. We continued to charge forward, but that was close.
Sometimes things happen too fast for us to catch. Let's jump back here and see where Sean Purcell took over the #1 spot. We keep missing these passes for the lead. I do apologize there, but there's the 00 Purcell taking over.
Yeah, like he was saying early on, he's been very fortunate to been as competitive as he has been, and he is showing again tonight. Yeah, he may be new to the series, but he is not new to having the ability to wheel this race car around these racetracks in the circuits that these guys and girls are running in this series over the course of the upcoming weeks. And he finds himself at the top of the pylon, up 4 spots in P1, carrying the torch as the Hornet's Nest is a-brewing. Just off the back here we go. Here's the biggest battle on the racetrack. It was the 27 and the 16 that almost got into some dirty business as they're 2x2 on the bottom side, and you almost have a train of 3 on the outside, led by that 97 machine of the 27 machine of Cameron Harris.
Yeah, Cameron Harris, past champion, really had a fast run right there. As he backs off a little bit, probably feeling the need for some fresh tires, to be honest. As we're running 51 of 200 here. But what a battle there with the 16, and then the outside line was really, really competitive as well. We get it all straightened out, and we're still green, luckily. and we are really pushing these tires here as we run lap 52 of 200 Holyoke Cornhole Boards 200. Glad you could be here with us.
Got to imagine that some of these guys' cornholes are screaming right now for tires because I know I would be.
Absolutely. You know, it's pretty amazing, to be honest with you. I'm looking at the first driver with the fresher tire, or who's, it looks like, oh, Cameron Harris was, pitted on lap 1 for some reason. So that's interesting. He's out here running 5th. But behind him, Travis Rodriguez in the freshest tires, I would say, out here. Well, not freshest, but one of these.
Oh, that's going to leave a mark. Oh, my goodness. The 27.
Caution comes out.
Yeah, the 27 gets caught or has a similar issue to what we saw earlier on in that run with cold tires, or just going down the back straightaway under full power. I believe he just breaks traction, tries to correct, and Miles claims another victim here as the Silver Bullet is its latest victim.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened there. Same deal. Getting real loose and overcorrecting. Well, maybe not even overcorrecting, just correcting in general, and then catching it again, and the car just snaps back the other way. And man, he did a really good job hanging on to it. Minimal damage there, so happy about that. And here we go. It looks like our top drivers here are going to come down pit road. Sean Purcell leading them down. We got Patrick McQuaid, Evan Clapper, Christian Delgado, Travis Rodriguez, Kyle Purcell. The names just keep coming in. Cameron Harris, Rodney Uberpacker, Adam Engerstein, Justin Horton. The entire field here deciding to come down, and I do not blame them. Hetrick Flanagan, Cole Martin, Jim Hubble, Nathan Christensen, Lilith Peters as well, all coming down pit road and gonna slap some fresh rubber on it. I'm sure some of these drivers are gonna get some dents banged out, get some damage fixed up here. They do have a fast repair, but you know, you want to keep that in your back pocket if you can. You're better off not using it. Sean Purcell comes out in the 00 TikTok. We're at lap 55 of 200. We're going to stop blabbing here for just a moment. We're going to jump side by side, and we will be right back. You won't miss any of the action here on Sim Racing Media. Do not go away. And welcome back live at the racetrack, Dover, Delaware, to be specific. Thank you for checking out our merchandise there. Shout out to Race Control. Quick story, I don't know if you guys know this out there, but Race Control actually ordered the shorts and wears them during the race while he does his race control duties. No, I'm just kidding. I made all that up. We've been going back and forth. Check out our store, simracingmedia.com. Get all kinds of fun merch. There's an awesome flag there. I got it. Hangs in the back. Prove that I'm a winner. I got a real checkered flag here. You can even get it customized with your logo on there. So check that out. Be sure to like and subscribe as well. Think you could join us. Mike the Money in the chat. Awesome show, guys. Appreciate you. Like I said, I'll send that tip jar around in a few moments here. You can go ahead and give us a donation. Just kidding. Be sure to like and subscribe, though. That's all we need.
Yeah, speaking of like and subscribe, if you guys aren't part of the SRM family, help us hit that 3,000 subscriber milestone. We are coming up on it. Best way to do that, become part of the family right here that brings you guys eSIM high octane action 7 nights a week. The only place you're going to see these guys and girls battle it in prime time, Tuesday night style, right here on SRM, is the Pace Lights go back out on top of that Chevy Silverado. And he's continued to move up front over the course of the early going tonight. And that is that 00 Ford Mustang. And he has been bad fast early on in this one as that pace truck peels off. And we get ready to turn these boys and girls loose again one more time here. Or is Miles still out for his... Is Miles done eating, or is he still hungry? Oh my goodness, and he is still hungry as we got 2 cars in the outside wall. Multiple cars spinning.
I don't even know who to look at. We got a lot to unwrap here. Looks like Scott Leonard involved. I don't necessarily know what happened there, but let's see what happened with Scott Leonard.
I'm talking about Miles the Monster being hungry because it seems like every time I do, disaster strikes. And it looks very similar to what happened with, unfortunately, the one a couple caution cycles ago.
Might have had, well, definitely had the 72 involved here. Let's see what are we seeing another money shift here?
Yeah, the hook and roll, and unfortunately the hook is into the outside wall. When you put the loud pedal down and everyone's stacked up, single file, and no one has any time to react, everyone's coming up to speed, and the accordion effect strikes again, collects the 72, and others, as McQuaid becomes lightning struck on the restart and finds himself pointing in the wrong direction, as yet we fall under another caution flag here around this concrete asphalt racetrack facility.
Yeah, pretty wild right there. Not sure what happened, but let's see if we can grab Lightning McQuaid. Lightning, it's Cliff and Matt in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
We wanted to give you a moment here to just kind of have the mic and see what happened there.
Yeah, I think, I want to say I got going before Clapper did, and it must have just made me spin out. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm going to guess that's what happened.
All right, well, we'll go with that. No worries. Just wanted to get your point of view and see just what happened and take a moment there to talk to someone other than Matt.
Hey, I appreciate it.
All right, man, we'll send you back. Good luck.
Thank you.
I probably should have looked at where I grabbed them from before I sent them back. I'll check the team listings there real quick and make sure I put him where he belongs.
Yeah, hopefully you didn't send him down a black hole somewhere.
Wouldn't be the first time.
But yeah, I'm glad you pulled him in here because that's kind of a completely different look than we got here from the booth. It was very reminiscent of Lilith Peters' mishap on her restart. Hopefully we don't see that trend to continue on that outside groove, but it has proven to be treacherous on restarts as you throttle up that next gen race car, and that concrete just doesn't want to bite those 17-inch Goodyear Eagles in the back, and as a result, the front of that race car takes off at almost a 90-degree angle, and you're literally eating that wall for lunch.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that concrete aspect up. We haven't had the opportunity to talk about that, and maybe it just slipped our minds here for 60 laps. But yeah, concrete surface a little bit different than asphalt. We talked about tires, and we'll talk about it again before the night's up. But that's one of the other reasons.
And I think that's also the reason why we're having some issues going down the backstretch around the straightaways. When you get some laps on the tires, you get some heat in them, and just common little gyrations with the race car that you make on asphalt just seems to catch some of these drivers by surprise, and that grip, that bite goes away, and they find themselves in the inside wall. So this racetrack, they call it too tough to tame, and it has been overtaken some of these drivers early on here tonight. But one man that it hasn't caught by surprise is that 00 of Sean Purcell. He is carrying the torch around here right now. But in second, how about this man, Christian Delgado, up 15 spots in the 16, occupying row 1 of the outside lane as that iRacing.com pace truck goes up on 2 tires.
Sometimes weird things happen in the sim world. Lights will be off in that pace truck. Of course.
I'll tell you what, this field is tightly packed and stacked right off the rear bumper of that truck. Everyone's going to have to tighten up here, and I can understand why you wouldn't as a driver given what's happened on these past few restarts, especially on the outside. But I don't think race control is going to let them go back to green with everyone spread out like this. We're going to have to see as those lights are out on the pace truck, as we continue to sort ourselves out and get a little tighter, a little more well grouped here, or grouped up, as we are about to approach the Geico restart zone. And here we go. The 00 about to stand on it and give it everything he's got. And there he goes, fires out of the cannon. Great restart by Sean Purcell as Evan Clapper, Christian Delgado, and Adam Agerstein are all back to it. Full send around this concrete oval, aka the Monster Mine.
Couple of battles there for about 1 lap between Clapper, Delgado, and then Angerstein and Kyle Purcell as they fight for respectively 2nd and 4th. Everyone now getting sorted out in just about single file. We see the 10 car here putting a move on the 9 of Adam Angerstein, going to make that pass look pretty easy, and the 45 of Cole Martin's going to go right with him.
Is that the Purifier, Kyle Purcell, who accidentally got ejected out of this race due to a connection issue? He has marched his way all the way up inside the top 5, taking advantages of all of these restarts. That Toyota Camry is looking really racy. He's going to fall in line behind that 16 of Christian Delgado. But my goodness, has Kyle Purcell led a charge, becoming the bull since having that connection terminate his session right before he rolled off. Oh, he gets a little piece of the wall, but he's going to keep on marching forward, indicative of how hard he is pushing that Camry around this racetrack.
A little bit of a wall brush there, but yeah, huge shout out there. He, it only shows him as gaining 2 positions on our tracker because he technically started 6th. But he has come a long way, probably a lot more than our current biggest mover, and that's Christian Delgado, up 14 spots to the 3rd position.
Yeah, and speaking of Delgado, he wants another one, but the one that wants another one has probably passed more cars than anyone else on the racetrack tonight, and that continues to be Kyle Purcell. Flick another one to the good. He is now cracked the top 3. That Toyota is bad fast right now as he continues to rocket forward. Oh, but don't look now. Guess who's also coming back into the picture? It's the one of Lilith Peters. She's also making that charge.
Yeah, you talked about how, you got to keep your brain on your shoulders, be smart, and get back out there. And she did. She did just that, and she's up to 6th, back up to 6th spot here. She's got a ways to go to get back to where she started, but she is working it, and that team is excited about that. See if she can get her way back to the top spot. Evan Clapper in this 57. Whoa, caution's out.
Yeah, as we continue to watch the battle unfold up front, covering some of these biggest movers of the race, caution yet unfolds, and we fall under a yellow flag condition yet again, as we're going to have to hunt and find out exactly what happened.
Yeah, not getting the greatest information here from our software, but not really seeing any carnage on the racetrack either.
Yeah, not, as you said, not really getting an indication from their software where the potential problem may have been. But then again, some of these cautions have eluded us at time throughout the course of this one as well.
I'm getting word from up above here. Sounds like there was some debris turn 2.
Well, there you go. Some corn husk got chucked out there on the racetrack, and may have been mistaken for a water bottle, and that'll do it. You don't want to get corn plugged in that radiator. That'll make those temperatures go up. So race control does the right thing. They throw the caution flag. They'll let the cleanup crew get up there. They'll clean that off the racetrack.
Oh, this just in. Was some fans on the infield playing some cornhole out of Holyoke cornhole bags and boards, and threw it a little bit too hard, ricocheted up into the track and got some debris.
I'm trying to talk right now. All right, Beck, grab yourself, get it together. And you're right, yeah, we can't say and begin to thank, the sponsors of this series and of all these drivers, all the men and women behind the scenes that work so hard to make it possible, for us to be up here in the booth watching these competitors, fight and battle so hard on the racetrack. So that's a great sponsor mention, great sponsor read there, as we see Evan Clapper all over the back of that race truck, trying to get some of those husk flakes off that front of that grill, perhaps.
I think that's what it was. There a little bit of debris on the front bumper and prohibiting some of that airflow, maybe. As we all know, the pace truck does not obey the laws of physics, so that's not going to help him out.
Maybe he's trying to figure out the font on the back of that tailgate there for upcoming paint scheme.
Patrick McQuaid down pit road here. Unscheduled pit stop, I believe.
Well, if you want to take an opportunity here to roll the dice, perhaps, with all these cautions, now is the time. Because, the field's going to be pretty much, restacked, re-racked. You're going to come back out, potentially, depending on where you pit from. I'm not exactly sure where Lightning McQuaid was when the caution came out. But nonetheless, I assume he's going to come down pit road and put 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods on that race car. And as we're currently working, please pull up my tracker here on my side. I'm having a little bit of a software issue here. As we're working lap 71. This could be a calculated play by Lightning McQuaid and his camp.
Yeah, you might be right. But since we got this opportunity here, let's go ahead and let's see if we can bring in our top mover of the race so far. Christian, it's Cliff and Matt in the booth. You got us?
I got you guys.
Hey, Christian. Exciting, man. You're up 13 spots from where you started. Got a fast car here tonight. You think you got something for the win here?
Yeah, I think I got a really good pace. We'll see. It's still a long race. Not even halfway done. So still a lot of racing to be done, and potentially a lot of mistakes can be done as well. So I think I got a good car that can run up front and maybe get a win. So hopefully we can be mistake free and bring one home for Dominion Motorsports.
Yeah, we'll keep this pace and you'll be up there in no time. Good luck to you. Hopefully we get to talk to you again before this one's over.
Thank you, guys.
Spoken like a true veteran there and a philosopher of the sport. Didn't want to take the glory per se in that interview, but he's absolutely right. There's so many different things that can unfold as we're not even halfway in this one. But in order to write the history book, the storybook ending, we got to get through tonight. And in order to do that, we're going to need Evan Clapper in that 57 machine to take the green flag. He's going to step on the loud pedal as we're going to bring all these cars back to life, full send around this concrete oval. That 00 of Sean Purcell continues to work the high side of the racetrack. But here comes the big brother, the purifier, Kyle Purcell. He said not so fast. Oh, he almost gave him the squeeze job. They barely touch. He's going to overtake second as that 10 continues to set his sights on the back of Evan Clapper. Can he make the comeback from the rear, from the connection termination? He needs one more position, and he has passed every single car in the house tonight, making a statement that he is one to be reckoned with here in the AARL series.
Taking a look here at the 16 of Christian Delgado, who's getting a a handful of the one car, Lilith Peters, she actually takes that position over as that one car, as we said, making her way to the front.
Yeah, this is just incredible watching the 10, the 0-0 in the 1, rebound from treacherous tragedy. And I mean, in the case of the 10 machine, before we even rolled off, this is some of the best heads-up driving I have seen on display in a long time, let alone two drivers in one race, showcasing their talents, I mean, on full display in prime time. As you're looking out the back of Kyle Purcell's race car at the front of that ZL1 Camaro, these two vehicles, they are on a rail right now as they're about to start stalking the 57, your leader, Evan Clapper.
57 Evan Clapper got a big gap there, 6-7 tenths over Kyle Purcell in that 0-0. We saw the 0-0 be fast. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the 10 car. Kyle Purcell sitting second, not 0-0. Sean Purcell in the 0-0 sitting third. But look at this, though. We got a Chevy, Toyota, Ford, 1, 2, 3. So big shout out to the manufacturers there. They'll prove that, it's a pretty even battlefield out here for the manufacturers.
Yeah, the guys at the top of the food chain, the content writers, will be very happy with the way the top three sit right now. As like you said, you have all manufacturers on full display right now during or at the front of the field, but still carrying the torch is that 57 of Evan Clapper. Hard on the move, though. That Toyota Camry's been bad fast. Lilith Peters in that Camaro has been bad fast as well, as they occupy the top four spots. But for her to get through that, she's going to have to break through that brother duo, that 10 and the 0-0. They hold the buffer between fourth place and the lead, where Lilith Peters once was before she had that tumultuous restart where she hooked it into the wall and stacked up the whole top side of the racetrack. But nonetheless, great recovery by her and her team. As we're currently moving on back through the field on the 7th position, that's where we're going to find the 27 of Cameron Harris up 4 spots.
Yes, sir. Cameron Harris sitting there up 4 spots in that 27. Past champion there. Rodney Rupacker sitting here in 9th. Pretty decent race for a lot of these cars. Been quiet for most of them. Probably just biding their time. We haven't talked much about, so to speak, Peter Terrio here sitting in 6th. Another past champion, or actually our reigning champion. Sitting here in 6th. Been quiet most of the night. So I think a lot of these drivers are just biding their time. We're not nearly to halfway yet, and there's a lot of race to go. So they're just being patient. A lot of patience in the field tonight.
Ding, ding, ding. There's the bell. You hit the nail right on the head, especially being the current past champion of the sport of this series. That's exactly, if I was in that race car, that's where I want to be. I don't want a lot of people talking about me right now. I'm just buying my time. I'm waiting for things to unfold in front of me. And that's what you see the veterans of the sport do. They are masters of when to go, when not to go, and they silently move their way forward until the winding moments of the race, and they put themselves in positions to win races. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now on display. Inside the top 10, I haven't talked about him a lot tonight. He's not on everyone's radar, and I guarantee you that's part of the strategy and why he's been so successful in the past as well.
Absolutely. Deeper in the field here, Lorfano, Jeremy Flanagan, Adam Angerstein, a lot of these drivers, Travis Rodriguez, fighting back here and just behind the 10th position, 12th through 14th. So a lot of action here mid-pack as the front start to fade out or fan out. We got action all over the racetrack.
Yeah, and that is not an understatement as we're looking at that Mountain Dew machine of that 9 car, Adam Angerstein, who is currently just outside the top 10, currently residing in that 12th position. Moving on through the field in 13th, that's going to be Travis Juggles Rodriguez as he continues to rebound from some early trouble. The 15 of David Hera, he's a little bit off the pace tonight. Probably not where he wants to be right now, but he's got plenty of time to make his way back forward in that 15 machine. In 16th, that's going to be Jeremy Flanagan in that 72. In 17th, Nathan Christensen. He's down one position from where he started in 17th, and all the way back to 18th position is Patrick McQuaid. Looks like he may be still having some issues from that race car when he also had restart troubles on the outside as well.
Yeah, definitely big problems. Just keep stacking up there for the 77 machine. Good news is he's got a lot of race to go. We talked about it earlier. We'll talk about it again. Keep your head on your shoulders. Be smart, and just keep at it. You'll be back up here in no time.
That's right. You got to have the fight. You got to have the drive. And I know for certain, and I've learned, never count Lightning McQueen out until it's over. But talking about the drive and determination, you can't say enough about that one machine of Lilith Peters and Kyle Purcell and that Toyota, as they are inside the top 5 and top 10 right now. And that one continues to march forward and putting that 57 machine under duress. And she's looking to the bottom of the racetrack. She has completed the comeback and has taken the lead back. Check the one car to the point. Lilith Peters reigns supreme right now once again at Dover.
We see it there, the one car taking over the one position, and right here in her driver details, looking for that first win this year. Last season she had a couple of wins, maybe even 3 or 4. I'd have to check the stats, but looking for that first win this season. And man, from having some trouble on a restart all the way back through the field to grab the first position back. Got a fast car here and a really fast driver and a championship caliber team here. Some action deeper in the field here. Kyle Purcell battling it out with Christian Delgado fighting for that 6th position. Takes the bottom side here.
I'm not to cut you off, but I'm 99% certain those tires on that 10 Toyota Camry have just gone away, especially the way that he just drove through the field. But nonetheless, just be patient, hang tight. We're going to get to another round of pit stops before you know it, and I'm pretty sure we'll see him pick up where he left off before those Dr. Feelgoods became Dr. Feelbads. But how about it? Right around all the action seems to be just off the rear bumper of that 00. This is currently coming under duress right now. Looks like that 28 Fanatec machine is on the move on the bottom side of the racetrack.
28 of Peter Terrio, reigning champ here. Up to 3rd position. He's actually now going to claim the title for the top mover of the race.
Yeah, Peter Terrio up there 12 spots from where he started. Just like we were saying a little bit ago, Cliff, these champions, they know exactly how to manage these races. And just about this far in the run, you would expect to see the champions or the veterans that have a car to compete with and win races starting to show their hand. And that's exactly what you're seeing right now out of Peter Terrio in his camp, as he's showing these guys he has some excellent long run speed. He's currently up there footing towards the front of the field.
Yeah, doing a great job here, up 12 spots to 3rd. Lilith Peters, though, our biggest story currently, has made her way back up through the field, so don't count out some of these other cars who have seen some trouble early on. As this race continues to unfold, we will see some of them come back around and regain some of these top positions. Now, we talked about tires. First round of really wholesale pit stops was around lap 54, so we can go 100 plus here, I think, before we see these cars come back down the pit road. But we're getting to that position again where tire fall off is going to be an issue. Cars are going to start sliding around, and we might see some more trouble before we hit halfway point.
No, and it's just as you were saying that, I started to see some cars jostle and wiggle a little bit in the camera. And right there, that's exactly what I'm talking about. as the 77 there, he gets loose off corner and out of corner exit. We're going to pan back now to the 9 machine of Adam Angerstein and go and take a look at Christian Delgado, who is currently in 6th positions, up 11 spots right now. All these guys continue, looks like they're backing off a little bit of each other, which is indicative of those tires going away. I'd seen a note that the caution flag was thrown, but that is an old note. Continue to march on here under green flag conditions.
Yeah, no caution on the track. I did see a car kind of slow on the inside of the track. I was trying to see if we could find who it was as we hit that halfway mark. But yeah, no caution on the track. No trouble as of yet. 101 of 200 are in the books.
Yep, halfway home right now, and at the halfway point, picking up where she left off, Lilith Peters. You know, I just want to talk about her again for another minute. You know, this young lady has been snake bitten in some of these races at times late, has had dominating performances. And Cliff, that's why when you asked me who I thought was going to win tonight, I had to go with the 1 machine. Obviously, she may have rattled, my thought process when I seen her have that issue on the restart. But once again, she has rekindled my belief at this amazing charge that she has made back through the field. And this is something that I haven't been yet able to see because all of her incidences have happened late in a race. I didn't know how that team would be able to respond to adversity as we see a taker on pit road here. It looks like that 8 machine of David Lafarno. He's going to come down, get down to pit road speed. He's got his sights set on his pit box. His team's going to go to work here shortly, get 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods. And monkey see, monkey do. The 72 is going to come down pit road. And I imagine the rest of the 22 competitors out there on the racetrack will be in for all to have service performed on their race car momentarily.
As they run, we'll jump through the field as quick as we can before they do decide to jump down. This is usually the best time to get them because they're a little bit spread out. Hopefully don't miss any major action. Lilith Peters, we talked about her coming up through the field, regaining that top spot, the 1 car in the 1 position. Sean Purcell up 3 spots behind her in the 00. Been fighting up here in the top 3 all day. We expect him to have a solid win or a solid finish. See where he does end up. Peter Terrio, our top mover now and past champion, as he comes down to pit road, as we were just talking about. We'll have to abandon the run through the field as they come down. It's just going to shift everything around, so no need. So we see our top guys really come down to pit road speed in a hurry.
Yeah, his pit. Sorry to cut you off there. As I was saying, pit road is suddenly the hot spot on the racetrack once again, with all of these drivers probably screaming for tires. The minute they seen a couple cars come down pit road, it's follow the leader, especially when you have this many laps on the tires. But you got a couple people still staying out on the racetrack, that being still the one of Lilith Peters, your leader. That silver bullet machine still on the racetrack as well, that 27 car, as we're showing you right now on screen.
Not only that, but we got the 5-car Rod Newberpacker and Kyle Purcell still fighting out here on the racetrack. Justin Horton, Adam Angerstein, plenty of action here, side-by-side racing as we see the 9 get sideways and come across the line.
Yeah, he got slideways right at that portion of the racetrack where we've seen others wind up in the inside wall, but that 9 of Adam Angerstein is able to save it and continue to march on. It got close there. I bet you that woke him up and got his attention just a little bit. His pit stops continue to go underway on the racetrack as we stay under green here at Dover.
Joshua Hedrick pulling it in, just about misses there.
I thought he hit the I thought he hit the wall there, or those cans full of water there, but it looks like he was able to avoid contact. He'll continue on down pit road, but at first glance, I thought he caught part of it.
Yeah, that was certainly close. Maybe left a little bit of paint on him.
You know what they say, paint builds character.
Looks like our leader's going to woe it up and bring it down pit road. That's Lilith Peters in the 1 car, going to come down and get refreshed. Get some new rubber and a full tank of fuel. Going to hand the lead to Cameron Harris in the 27 Silver Bullet. Meanwhile, Cole Martin and Patrick McQuaid are coming down pit road as well.
I'll tell you what, that marketing is working on that silver bullet, because I'm really craving a Coors Light right now, and I'm not really a beer drinker. It sounds really tantalizing right now.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Some weird reason I would love a Coors Light.
They do it to us on purpose, Cliff.
Dang advertising. Well, enough about the sponsors. How about them drivers? Rodney Uberpacker, Kyle Purcell, Cameron Harris, top 3 right now, hanging it out there. Last on pit road, lap 54, so getting some real slick rubber here is what we're going to have, and this is when things get really crazy. Any slight mistake could really send you sideways, and you could have a bad day. I'm assuming some of these guys up front are really hoping and possibly even praying for a caution right now.
You know what? I agree with you, but that 27 of Cameron Harris looks to really have that car hooked up well underneath him on the long run again. You know, as I watch him go around the racetrack, I'm not seeing the back of that car twitch at all, especially under full load, the center of the corner there. He's still able to turn it all the way down the racetrack, which is, I mean, it's tough to run down there on a fresh set of tires, let alone one that has this many heat cycles, this many laps on those tires. As he continues to march forward, well done long run execution by that 2017.
Yeah, we've the 27 car here, Cameron Harris. He won the championship back in the 22 spring season, so he knows how to get it done. Stand-up guy, great interviewee, and really team-oriented, and just real fast. Knows how to handle the car, and he's going to get that caution he was looking for.
Oh, you said it best. He is going to get the caution he was looking for, and it is out on the racetrack. Well, sometimes you want to do the rain dance, and in the virtual world where there is no rain, sometimes you want to see a caution flag, and he gets gifted one as he's continuing. Oh!
Peter Terrio, our past champion, or our reigning champion here, making the move underneath the car. Wasn't able to hang on to it. Looks like he got a little bit loose underneath there and got into that car.
Yeah, and Clank goes to 28. Is he going to carry him and ricochet off that other car on the racetrack? I don't think that was incidental contact, as he just gets slideways there in that 28 machine. Going to crease the fender a little bit, pinch it down on the tire. You're definitely going to have to come down pit road and get that fender pulled off that tire, because it won't last long, especially in these high banks around Dover.
Yeah, so the 28 there of Peter Terrio having trouble was currently at one point was our top mover of the race. But here we go. Everyone else coming down pit road, or I shouldn't say everyone else, but our top 7 at least right now coming down pit road.
Led by the gambler, the 27 of Cameron Harris, who stayed out and banked out on this caution flag. But I believe there's going to be some others, though, that are going to stay out on the racetrack, as they recently just completed their service on their race car. So we're going to have to resort this, shuffle the deck again, and when we re-rack them, restack them, we'll have a great idea of where everyone is going to line up as the iRacing.com pace truck heads back out on the field and everyone falls in behind him.
You're absolutely right. And as they get everything sorted out, we will step aside for a moment. We'll go side by side. We'll step aside, I should say, from the Holyoke Cornhole Boards 200 here. Big shout out again to Holyoke for our sponsoring our race. And we will we'll jump side by side. We won't go away. You shouldn't either. We'll be right back. Back live at Dover. Looking out the back bumper here of Cameron Harris, number 27, our current leader. Got a bad, fast car. He's only got Kyle Purcell, Rodney Uberpacker, Justin Horton just behind him. Travis Rodriguez going to round out our top 5 here as we run. We'll cross the line at lap 120 of 200. Been an exciting race here so far tonight. Glad you could join us. Glad you could stick with us. And if you're joining us for the first time, be sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, just to continue on what you just said, as we continue to close in on that milestone of 3,000 subscribers. If you're not a part of the family, join our family so you can come right back here next week and watch all these guys and girls go out and do it again next week. As they're not done tonight, they are just getting things kicked off right here on SRM in prime time. But you got to smash the like button and ring the bell to know when to turn in to watch AARL each and every Tuesday night in prime time. So it looks like the gamble pays off. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Cameron Harris is going to restart second. It just about pays off for him. He's going to work high regards in his favor. But look who is out front. That 10 car that got disconnected before the start of this one is on point in P1, restarting on the high side of the racetrack. Kyle Purcell putting on a show right now.
Trouble back in the field on the 3-car. Nathan Christensen having some mechanical issues there. Had to get out of the way, I think, of the field getting going as the 27 car shoots out like a cannon. Kyle Purcell, Rodney Uberpacker going to have to chase him down here as we are back green flag racing at the Holyoke Cornhole Boards 200. The 10 car looking now inside of the 27. They will touch a little bit there. They'll both keep it straight, going the right way. You know what they say, 8 tires turn better than 4. Am I right?
8 tires turn better than 4, and Rubbin is racing. And that's what you're seeing up front between the 10 and the 27 as they do battle out there on the racetrack. Cameron Harris fired out of the cannon, but Kyle Purcell hit the full military afterburner and ran him down, gave him a little love tap, and continued to march on as he currently owns the top spot. Check him off, P1, Kyle Purcell.
I don't think this 27 car is quite done with Purcell. He'll let him go for now. He's going to gather that car back up under him and go ahead and, make a run here back at the 10 and possibly retake the lead. So don't count him out. Currently here sitting in 5th watching it all unfold is Rodney Uberpacker, not really pressing the issue just yet. He's seeing things wind down and starting to formulate a strategy, as I'm sure a lot of these drivers are. I'm assuming we're going to see 2 more stops. I bet a lot of these drivers starting to think, all right, 2 more stops, about 60 to go. That's 30 and 30. No need to wear a run out here on sloppy rubber if you don't have to. But at least for these front runners, including the 27 of Cameron Harris, it's no hold bars no matter what part of the race we're in as they are running for the lead. Side by side, here's the 10 and 27 battling it out. 27 can't quite get that pass completed. He will now as the 10 brushes the wall. And that's going to bring the 5 of Uberpacker right to the bumper of the 10.
I'm sorry, you were killing me there with that sloppy rubber comment. I was trying to catch my breath as we currently go on board with, I don't know who we're on board with right now because I was laughing so hard I was crying.
Nobody wants sloppy rubber. As Matt mutes again, we will jump back up front with Cameron Harris, and we'll look back on the back of the 27 as Kyle Purcell chases him down.
Yeah, Kyle Purcell's going to go ahead and chase him down as we're getting some more great camera work from Cliff, your production manager tonight, who is debuting some beautiful camera angles over the course of this one as he continues to flex a little bit of that arm, showing you what he can do up there in the booth when he is on the switches tonight. The 00, the 9 machine, the 28. That 28 is a past champion, your current champion, and continues to put pressure on these front runners tonight as we continue to wind these laps down. Cliff, you said split it up. But what happens if we fall under a green flag scenario? Can these drivers technically go the distance from here, or will that fuel cell run dry before the green flag falls?
Yeah, I'm not confident that we can make it. Maybe on fuel, but I don't see the sloppy rubber holding up, to be honest. But I'm not down there on the pit box doing the calculations and checking my numbers over and over again. But these guys are, and newsflash, these guys, crew chiefs, they're in the driver's seat racing the car. These guys got to figure it all out on their own as they're running, and it's not easy. So my hats are off just for them being able to finish these races in a decent manner and understand the entire need for the strategy and just commitment mentally, not even physically driving the car, but understanding how much fuel they got and what time they should come down to pit road. It blows my mind. It's amazing. That's why I broadcast and don't try to race too much, because it takes so much to handle and complete an entire race, never mind season, and run for a championship. I mean, this stuff is not easy.
It's not easy, and it is a lot to handle. And speaking of handling, that 27 of Camera Harris is handling beautifully right now. But the main reason why I asked you that, Cliff, is that 27, as you said, he's a former champion in the spring of 2022, I believe you said. That car has been looking awful good, especially over the course of the long run. I didn't realize he had this kind of long run speed, as he has kind of just checked out over second place. The current differential is over 1.4 seconds right now, about 1.45 seconds. I didn't think we were going to see that. I just didn't realize the 27 had that kind of short run speed as well. But you almost feel like, this is kind of falling into the hands of the 27, especially with that long run speed that we've seen out of him. I know Rodney Uberpacker, he's been fast. Kyle Purcell, my God, he came through the entire field. We've seen Lilith Peters from the front to the back to the front again. And we have some other drivers in this field that are very good on the long run. But right now, you got that 27 who went on a full Hail Mary. Someone up above was looking out for him. It was almost biblical when the caution flag came out. And since then, the 27 is just checked out into almost another zip code, as that interval is over 2 seconds. It could be falling right in to that 27's hands, especially if this stays green.
Yeah, I just want to point out all the names you're throwing around there, all these fast drivers who have seen some adversity and made their way back up through the field. They're all top 10, cars in the running in the season right now. Especially Harris, Uberpacker. Well, Harris, didn't see any trouble, but McQuaid, Uberpacker, Lilith Peters, they're all top 10 drivers here fighting for a spot in the playoffs and have a chance at that championship.
Right, and in this series here, they are following the most recent and current NASCAR Cup Series points and scoring, which means if you win, you're almost guaranteed a spot in, unless we have something like we've seen in the Cup Series with the amount of first-time winners and winners over the course of the season. And we heard earlier, how it completely kind of changed the season around, for the young Purcell guy. I forget his last name right now as we're currently watching the 7 on the racetrack. But he said when he won Daytona, it totally changed the outlook of the way how he attacks the racetrack. And it kind of takes that pressure off of him. And he attributes that to the short-term success and the current success that you're seeing here today. So you're absolutely right. Getting that win is huge for these teams, especially early on, just helping you gain that confidence, knowing you're going to be there to fight for a championship when you get down to crunch time.
Well, crunch time, as I would say, is just about where we are at. We do have exactly 60 to go. And this is where I would look to split 30-30, but I was off on my math earlier, so it's a good thing, like I was saying, I'm not on the pit box, because we probably wouldn't be able to finish the race with the fuel I put in the car. But so yeah, we've got 60 to go. We definitely have at least 2 more stop, or at least 1 more stop. But now that I redo the math in my head, I think some of these drivers are definitely going to try to push it for that one more spot, especially some of these guys who have long run speed. Like you were saying, you know, Harris being one of them. These guys could definitely pit one more time right around the 150 mark and probably be comfortable enough to finish the race on whatever tires they got left.
And I think we'll see some of the drivers stretch it further from there, taking a note out of Cameron Harris's playbook that worked out so well in the case for him right now as he continues to lead, carry the torch around this racetrack. But like you were saying, so many great drivers, great talent inside the top 10, top 15 right now. You know, Cameron Harris, P1, Rodney Uberpacker, position 2, in the third spot, up 17 positions. Travis Juggles Rodriguez in 6th right now, falling back just a little bit. That's the one machine of Lilith Peters. Don't forget about her. In 7th, Adam Angerstein. In 8th, Sean Purcell. He's still inside the top 10. In 9th, silently creeping his way forward, making his case known late in the race when it counts. That's the 3 machine of Nathan Christensen. And in 10th, the 16 of Christian Delgado. Certainly any one of those drivers could win it.
You're absolutely right. Heck of a job there with the top 10. I'll go through the second 10 because, you know, everybody loves the top 10, but these drivers are the reason we're here. They're the reason that you guys get to watch this at home, and we're going to continue on here. 11th is Tyrone Yo Jr. Big shout out to him, sitting in the top 10 in the points currently. So he's on the green side right now. Let's see if Yo Jr. can put a great season together and make a run for it. Christian Delgado here sitting now 11th in the 16 machine. Was a top mover earlier on. David Lorfano in the 8th, sitting 12th. Evan Clapper dropped back here now to 13th, having a little bit of trouble later in this race. We saw him dominating, well, I'll use the term dominating a little loosely, but ran plenty of laps up front. Larry Garnes in the 20 machine back here in 14th. Our past current champion, 28. Peter Terrio sitting 15th. David Hara in 16th. Nicole Martin here 17th. So deeper back in the field here, unfortunately, as well. The 77 of Patrick McQuaid.
Yeah, unfortunately, Patrick McQuaid continues to feel the effects of that ill-advised or ill-timed restart, or whatever it was that happened that gave some other drivers issues on the high side of that racetrack, of the higher side of the racetrack. I'm thinking about steak. I have one sitting waiting for me after this race is over.
There you go, my belly grumbling.
My belly's been grumbling ever since you announced the title sponsor of this race. I've been hungry, and I've wanted a Coors Light. So, hey, the marketing's working. It's doing its job because they got me up here thirsty and hungry.
Well, I'll tell you what's not doing its job, and that's our timing software. Got another caution on the racetrack, and not quite a clue why here. We'll jump around and see if we can find something.
Yeah, the cautions have done their darndest to evade us up in the booth as they have come out tonight. So have the lead changes up at the front of the field when we've been going through the field. But like you said here, as we're currently working lap 149, caution takes over the Monster Mile here at Dover, Delaware. You talked about splitting the difference. You said lap 150. And here they come down pit road. It becomes a hot commodity down there, which could potentially be the money stop of the race. Don't look now, but we still have competitors staying out on the racetrack, falling in line behind that Chevrolet Silverado.
Word is in again. It's another set of cornhole bags out on the racetrack from those folks playing cornhole on the infield there. They're using Holio cornhole bags and boards. If you want to, I would say Google them and find out what they're all about. But thank you for sponsoring the race, and thank you for bringing out the folks. And seem to be some mysterious greatly timed cautions here and finding cornhole bags out on the racetrack. So not sure what's going on there. Maybe some contract work with Cameron Harris to get some cornholes thrown out on the or some bags thrown out on the racetrack there, and be able to come in and get some fresh tires and finish this one out. What do you think?
It's a reminder for everyone, if you have E85 corn-based fuel available in your area to protect the environment, go green, go E85 when available. I think that's what all the corn bags are about, potentially.
Well, your guess is better than mine.
Well, maybe. Well,
I don't know. Sounded good. Some more cars just kind of sprinkled throughout the field here, coming down in and out of pit road. You're seeing a lot of cars coming in and getting what could potentially be their final stop if this would go green. At least our top 11 cars or even 13 cars here could make it on fuel and tires for sure. Larry Garnes in the 20 machine in 14th. He's the first one who didn't pit on this lap. Garnes, of course, pit last on lap 117, so still feeling pretty good about his tires. I think this 20 car is knowing that some more cautions are going to come.
yeah, well, he certainly wouldn't have to look that far into the notes from the night to feel like there are some more potential cautions on the horizon. But there he is. Is that the 77 at the front of the field? Is that Lightning McQuaid? Or is he gonna take the wave around here? And is the 27 of Cameron Harris still the leader?
Yeah, I think they're going to clean up the front row here. McQuaid should get the wave around. I believe you're right. They usually wait till one to go to do that.
I was about to say, where did he come from? But nonetheless, he's going to take the wave around. So put McQueen back on the lead lap. He's going to have 49 laps. Let's see how far he can come through the field now, as others have done before him tonight in this one so far. Starting to see some shadows being cast on that racing surface. Drivers have to take note of that, as that track temp, especially the concrete on the racetrack, is really going to change its grip and how it reacts with those race cars in those areas where it's shaded on the racetrack. As you can see, we're still under caution here, but the lights are out on that Chevrolet Silverado. Cameron Harris continues to lead. He's going to have Kyle Purcell on the outside in that Toyota Camry, followed by Rodney Uberpacher and company. Lilith Peters back in the mix as well. And we're going to stack them 2 by 2 as we get ready to tear them loose one more time. We're going to hit the Geico restart zone. He's going to put the pedal to the metal and brace his inner John Force and check out on the entire field as he kind of catches him on the snooze button. As the 5 and the 10 go to battle. Kyle's on the high side, Rodney's on the inside. And here comes Lilith Peters as well. And she's bringing the heat in that one machine as she's got it wound up towards the wall. Getting that momentum, he's going to cut down right in front of the 5. No contest there for the spot. If she had the momentum and has her sights set towards the front of the field, but she's going to have to get through that 10 machine and Kyle Purcell before she can take a chance and go to war with the leader, Cameron Harris, in that 27.
Time is starting to run out here as we are within 45 laps to go. Purcell chasing, trying to catch up with Cameron Harris. Sean Purcell, meanwhile, running the one of the fastest laps of the race in that 00, so he's trying to make his way back up there. But I think I'm with the silver bullet here. Let's take a look, though, at the one sitting third. I think she's got the most potential to get her car up and contend with Cameron Harris. But we will see. Time will tell as these laps are starting to tick away.
Yeah, laps are starting to tick away, and it is not easy to get around Kyle Purcell He doesn't care who you are on the racetrack. If you want to get by him, he's kind of like Ryan Newman. He's going to make you earn it. And the longer that Lilith Peters is behind Purcell, potentially farther Cameron Harris gets away, or in the process of getting away, because Kyle Purcell can easily go right up there and run the 27 back down. But that's currently how it sits right now, as Cameron Harris has a little over a second advantage on second place in that 10 machine.
These lap times that Cameron Harris is laying down tell me that he has got a fast car, and we haven't seen the full potential of this 27 machine just yet, as he continues to lay down the fastest time on the racetrack, 23:02. Compared to Kyle Purcell's 23:22.
Yeah, the Rockies may be cold as ice, but that silver bullet is FAST fast right now on the racetrack. But here she goes. Lilith Peters is going to clear the 10. Back to second place. She's running out of time, and she's got almost a minute and 1 second and a half to make up on Cameron Harris. Does she have enough sloppy rubber left underneath that race car, as you like to say, to go up there and get the job done? Or one of the other competitors behind her going to come from behind and go up there and contend with Cameron Harris for the win?
Well, we're only about 11 laps into this run on these tires, so I don't think they're quite sloppy yet, but hey, we've seen the tire fall off pretty quickly, so who knows after 10 laps what they're feeling. I'm sure it's a bit sloppy. It's only going to get worse. That's the problem. But hey, the track temperature has cooled down well over 100 when we started, looking at about 89, 90 on the surface now. So things are definitely cooling off just a little bit. That will help with some of the grip here towards the end of this race. Tires definitely going to be a factor, though. I mean, I don't think we're going to see anyone come down pit road again unless we do get a caution. And even then, some of these front runners might not bother, as we've seen Harris be real fast on older tires. Lilith Peters, we haven't had a chance to talk about her in the long run with some clean air on the nose. She's been fighting quite a bit just to get where she's at now. So we'll see how this car, the one, handles now with some older equipment used up a bit, and back up here though to second into some clean air. We'll see if she can chase down the 27 of Cameron Harris. Rodney Uberpacker leading the rest of the field, sitting in third, our final podium spot. Stay tuned for the end of the race here. We'll definitely get the top threes in the booth. Go ahead.
Big shout out to Rodney Uberpacker in that Toyota, inside the top three right now. Heck of a drive from that man here tonight, up 7 spots. But don't look now, you got the Purcell tandem closing down behind him. And those are two guys that you don't want to see in their rearview mirror, because they will work you to death for that position. They are so mentally tough, and they compete out there each and every lap on the racetrack. I love watching those two boys go out there and compete week in and week out, and they're so well spoken in their interviews. Just class acts all around. That 67 machine, Justin Horton, he's still feeling racy in that car, up 8 spots from where he started. And Adam Agerstein continues to march his way forward. He is now in 7th.
Delgado. Oh!
The 14, he clipped the wall, but he continues to move forward. Could have been disastrous, as he had competitors all around him. Great job regaining control of that.
Oh, the 57. I'm sorry, that was not the 57.
I believe that was the 67. It is the 67. He is doing drift night out there. That car was at a 45-degree angle 2 different times. One right there, a little wall tap. And right there, he's going to lock it up and keep it straight. Magnificent save by Justin Horton. My goodness. That's as good as driving you'll ever see.
Let's go ahead and see if we can get some other perspectives of this.
I mean,
specifically, I want to
wow.
try one of these here. There we go. A little view of the arms here. Fun stuff.
Yeah, and drifting, I call that the wall tap cam. And I don't think that's what they set off for tonight. But hey, great camera work from your managing producer here tonight, Cliff, bringing you these exclusive angles as the 67 just manhandles that race car and commands it to point back straight.
Well,
Ooh, I almost thought we had contact there on pit road.
Luckily, the way they got the sim set up, as long as you're within a few boxes, you won't have any collisions on pit road. Part of the simulation part of it, real life, that would have been a collision, but you got to handle some leeway on pit road somehow. I think they do a great job with it. As I was saying, we weren't going to see anybody come down pit road unless that yellow flag came out, and there we are. It came out. Everyone but the 57 of Evan Clapper deciding to come down. Of course, some other cars coming in now, but there are going to be some stragglers who end up staying out to gain some positions, but most of these cars came down. I would say that the 57 is going to have his hands full now with some real fresh rubber behind him, and he's got that sloppy rubber going on.
Sloppy rubber. Well, I just realized Evan Clapper has the clapper on his race car as well.
Oh no!
Oh, that is.
Check that out.
I know. I just saw the clapper. There it is. Clap off. Clap.
It is great.
I love it. All the storylines, the sponsor, the title sponsor of this race. So many different firsts for me tonight. Evan Clapper's got the clapper on his race car. How did I miss that so far to this one?
Got the hands on the trunk lid in the back here. I think I'm going to go ahead and give him the imaginary best paint of the race reward. Goes to Evan Clapper.
Yeah, absolutely. If I could give him a golf clap right now without killing everyone's ears listening, I would, but I can't do that. But Evan Clapper, that is masterful, genius work on the car, as he's currently out to the back on point right now, being shown as your leader, followed by the 16 of Christian Delgado, and in third, Lilith Peters, fourth, Cameron Harris, in fifth, Sean Purcell, Rodney Uberpacker, Kyle Purcell, Adam Angerstein, David Lafano, Justin Horton round out the top 10.
Yeah, just under 30 to go here. This is it. It's down to the nitty-gritty. We're probably not going to visit pit road again unless we really stretch this run out. But right now, it's going to be track position. I would say Evan Clapper, if we do get another quick caution, he'll probably come down. He must be feeling good about the rubber he's got under his car. We're going to see if he can hold off the rest of these swarming bees behind him with fresh tires. If he can, he's got less than 30 to hold on.
Well, the other thing is, too, this next-gen car is so aero-sensitive, and there is a much added value to being out in front and getting all that fresh, uninterrupted, unfluttered air into the nose of that race car so it can flow through all the channels out the diffuser. Maybe he's seen the success that 27 was having up there and decided, hey, you know what, I got nothing to lose here. I'm going to go for it. That puts Clapper with the Clapper on board back to the point in the race tonight as we're deep into this one, and Clapper's going to stand on the loud pedal as they fire off down to turn one more time, side-by-side stack 2x2 as they run right now. Here comes Lilith Peters charging hard on the inside. Oh, she is going to get right up to the back bumper on the Clapper. That sponsor on Evan Clapper's race car. Lilith Peters painting a bead. She is seeing red right now as she continues to look to the inside. Clapper's going to give her plenty of space presenting towards the top side of the racetrack where Mama hides the cookies. But don't look now. The silver bullet is on the charge as well, putting Evan Clapper under siege as Lilith Peters goes back to the point.
The side-by-side there for second place. Harris and Evan Clapper as Clapper starts to fall backwards. We knew that was going to happen. Let's see if he can hold on to somewhere around the top 5 before he really evens out with the rest of the field. But I think he's going to continue to fall. Oh, caution comes out. I was just about to say, I think he's going to continue to fall backwards until we possibly get a caution.
And
16 here stopped against the inside wall.
Yeah, and that's a hard stop there down there. Couldn't seem to get the car refired. He's going to take a tow back to pit road. Oh, look out!
Yeah, not the view I was looking for, but hey, why not? Let's jump onto a normal camera here and see if we can see what happens. I have to adjust the replay timing here of the software. Getting a little bit late to the party when it comes to replays. Seeing it again. Getting loose on his own.
Yeah, getting loose, and you just can't. Once that car breaks loose, you just cannot get back into the throttle, even late. And that car just steps out on him, and he's going to collide with other competitors at the highest speed points of this racetrack, just about. And you see the helicopter howitzer on full display there as mayhem strikes. And I promise you, that's the last thing drivers like Lilith Peters, Cameron Harris, Sean Purcell, Kyle Purcell wanted to see, is they were starting to pull away from the rest of the field here. But nonetheless, caution falls yet again deep late into this one. Miles the Monster claims another artificial life here on the racetrack. More carnage ensues. We see the 28 on pit road, got the 2 on pit road. Hey, fresh tires, if you still got them, throw them on there. That's definitely going to help you out.
Yeah, if I got anything left in the pits, so at the end of this one, I'd be upset with myself. With 25 to go, I'm going to get some fresh tires.
Exactly. Dr. Feelgoods make everything better, especially at the Monster Mile. But once again, here we go. We've seen this picture here before tonight. Lilith Peters back up front. She has been so close so many times this season. I know she won 4 races last year. She woulda, coulda, shoulda had a win already. And she was my pick tonight. Does she have the drive, the determination? Can she hold these angry boys off behind her as we get ready to set to go back green flag racing, potentially for the final time here tonight? And it is going to be a fearsome bunch behind her, including that bad, fast silver bullet of Cameron Harris, Evan Clapper, and the Sean Purcell and Kyle Purcell boys. They're not done yet. I guarantee you they will try to make a factor a bit in this one before it's over.
Yeah, this one is far from over. 24 laps may seem like only a handful left, which is true, but there is a lot of action to come. Shout out to Mushroom in the chat. Time to get it done is right. We're just inside 25 to go. This is where you get paid what you get paid. We don't get paid, do we? Well, this is where the rubber hits the road and where you're going to have to prove your worth here. Peters, Harris, Clapper, Purcell. The top 5 here are fast cars, and they all want to win.
I think it's safe to say that everyone that started this race tonight all came here with the goal of winning the race. As tough competitors as these men and women are on the racetrack tonight. But there can only be one, as you know. However, podiums are great, but wins lock you in to the playoffs, which lead you to championships, and that's what it's all about right now. And I guarantee you that's on the minds of the one and everyone else near the front of this field, especially right now, as we're in the weaning or the burning of the midnight oil, if you will. We're coming down to the end of this one as we're currently working lap 178. You better strap those belts, pull those belts tight one more time, adjust those gloves. Make sure your seat's pointed in the right direction because it's about to kick up a notch here. I don't think the cautions may be done yet. I think you're right, Cliff.
Well, yeah. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of drivers here who are chomping at the bit, and late in the race, your mental fatigue is starting to play a part in it, and sometimes decisions are made that shouldn't be, and things happen. But here we go. Pace truck is off. Willis Peters in the 27 side by side. This is going to be a restart to remember.
And here we go. One more time, the green flag is back out, and the 27 and the 1 are going to drag race down the front stretch. Willis Peters is going to have the preferred entry into turn 1. She's going to take it down deep into the inside of the racetrack as she starts to accelerate off the corner as we're on board with Cameron Harris in that silver bullet, who has been lightning fast through the second half of this one. But don't look now. Did you see he was on the top side of the racetrack? That is Evan Clapper and under siege from Kyle Purcell. He is making a bid for this one as he's going to turn it down low. His brother following in close proximity. He has been bad fast over the course of this one at times as well. So
Purcell.
right now,
Purcell in that 10 car taking that third place away from Evan Clapper, who continues to fall backwards a little bit on those older tires. Oh, he's sideways on the racetrack.
He's sideways and he nosedives it in, and he is going to slide the grill down the entire backstretch, I believe. But
Yeah,
gets it back rolling.
I think that was him just getting loose and avoiding causing any trouble for any other racers here as we look from the blimp. Just a bit out of control and, parks it in the inside wall.
You know, and that's a great heads up by a veteran driver right there, not wanting to get anyone else caught up in that current situation that he had himself caught in, and he elects to just use the inside wall as a cheese grater on the nose of his race car.
Well, time to bring that 5.7 down to the pits, get a fresh set of tires, get those dents banged out. He's probably got a fast repair in his pocket.
You bring up a great point, not to cut you off there. I'm sure he does have a fat repair, but does he have any sloppy rubber left in his pits? I'm not sure he does.
I'm hoping he's got one more set. I mean, he was kind of hanging out there while everyone else was coming in, but that could be the reason why he wasn't coming down. Maybe he had nothing left down there to come get.
Or the fast repair he had left down there to come get. But either way, fast repair, he'll take it. If he has a fast repair and a set of Dr. Feelgood's, best case scenario, is Lilith Peters is yet again going to have to pull off another textbook restart to keep the rest of these hungry competitors behind her, as we see that 77 of Lightning McQuaid come back around the field again.
Yeah, he's going to finally get back on the lead lap. It looks like, no, I apologize. He's got a couple laps left to get back. So just grabbing one while he can, hoping for some more cautions before this one's out. He might get himself back on that lead lap. Now my timing's showing that he is on the lead lap. I believe he is.
I was just going to say my timing has been lagging a little bit too throughout all of the cautions in this one, and I am now showing McQuaid is back on the lead lap. This is really getting interesting now because you have a car that was bad fast early on that's now been fixed up, patched up. Driver's feeling good. He's motivated. He's back on the lead back. He knows he's back in it to potentially win it. You got storylines all over this racetrack. But the biggest one right now is that one machine was going to have to hold off Cameron Harris, the Purcell brothers, Adam Angerstein, Rodney Uberpacker, Justin Horton. She's going to have to do it yet again and execute another flawless restart.
And that's going to be the name of the game for this next restart, is a flawless restart for that one. She's got to get out in front of everybody and stay in that fresh air and just set sail. She can't worry about what's behind her. She's going to have to hit her marks, hit her line, and run perfect laps from here on out. And it's going to be her race to lose, but there's a lot of fast drivers right behind her who are just as good, and as long as they can do their thing, then the one car is going to have her hands full.
Because I'm telling you, the last thing you want to do is give those Rocky Mountains on that Coors Light car right behind her that fresh, wide open, crisp mountain air, because every single time that man has been out in front, he has been hard to reel back in. and you have fast cars right behind him in that 10 Toyota of Kyle Purcell and that Ford Mustang of Sean Purcell. So you definitely have fierce competition right off of her back bumper as we're taking a look at the front of Kyle Purcell's Toyota Camry as we line back up, we'll re-rack them and restack them here one more time. Cliff, I'm going to let you take this restart as my voice is starting to fade away, and I'm going to try to hold on.
You've been carrying the team all night. I appreciate that, but here we go. This could be the last restart of the race. I highly doubt it, but hey, let's see what happens here. We got one more time around here. Peters and Harris are going to take us to it. The Holyoke Cornhole Boards 200. We appreciate you joining us and sticking it out through to what could be winding down to the end here. So we'll see the pace truck take that hard left this time by. Can the Purcell brothers take over 1 and 2 from 3-4? They're gonna have to take down some of the fastest drivers of the day. Here we go, pace trucks off. Holyoke Cornhole Boards 200, and we back under green here with 15 laps to go. Green flag flies. 27 gets a big jump on the outside. That's not what Peters needed, but they'll go side-by-side drag race into 1. The 1 car gets a good run down on the bottom, leaves the 27 behind her. Exactly what she needs to do. Purcell brothers at it for 3rd and 4th. They're battling each other. Oh,
they wreck each other. Oh, my goodness, no!
The 10's going to hook the 00.
Oh, the brothers embraced the Bushwhackers as Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch took each other out, I believe, at Bristol years ago. And mayhem, pandemonium breaks loose. I don't believe what I just seen on the racetrack.
Oh, man, we will have to jump back and take another look at that.
There's just no way I'm speechless right now. I can't believe what I just witnessed. I mean, it's late in the race. You have to go for it. And it looks like the 00 is coming down to defend and he clips him with the back of his race car. And the 5 just hole shots into the middle of the pile. You can see he has a run. He's going towards the bottom. He's shooting for the bottom, and he's just going to get spun right off the nose of the 10 car. Go back and look at it again just to make sure it wasn't net code here, and it was indeed contact. Yes, it was contact. Unfortunate contact, which I don't think, again, it was deliberate. And wow, what a wallop delivered as cars came piling in.
We are on
Cliff,
board.
I don't believe what has happened here in the closing moments of the race.
On board with Sean Purcell as we see him just get hooked here and end up looking the wrong way. And this is going to be a pretty disastrous sight for the 00. You never want to be looking the opposite way down the racetrack as he gets that wallop you described right there. Take a ride on board. What an amazing hit.
And someone ARCA braked into the back of him as well. And I know it probably was on the brakes, but it looked like an ARCA brake because he just clobbered the back of that race car, used up what was ever left of that Toyota Camry.
Well, we haven't had the chance to talk to him yet. I want to go ahead and see if we can grab our current champion, Peter Terrio. Peter, it's Cliff and Matt in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, man, sitting fourth real quick. Do you have what it takes for these fast cars out here? Can you get that 28 to victory lane?
You know, we'll see. It's been a rough race, up and down race. Pretty, I gotta be careful what I say here. I don't want to get yelled at. You know, it's been a interesting race. Luckily, I think my car is 100% at the moment, and I have the freshest tires out of the people up here. So I just need to, you know, pull through here, be fast, but be smooth, confident. We still have 10 laps to go. It's enough time for a little bit of wear to kick in. So, you know, I think I just gotta be smart. I feel like I've gotten kind of screwed over by some really stupid incidents earlier in this race, and to be back here in fourth is a great shot. And yeah, can't thank Chad enough for team owner here. Sean sucks he got involved in that last incident there. Hopefully he can regain a little bit here, but and obviously Christian as well. I'm gonna be going for it for them.
Well, as these last laps come to a close, we'll probably be about 10 to go here when we come back by. Hopefully you can get that 28 machine to a podium spot, but a heck of a run so far.
You know, you hear the frustration in his voice, but that's a true competitor coming from the heart right now. You know, when a driver feels like that he has been wrong, or things that have happened throughout the race that just haven't gone his way, or have gone ways that he felt should have gone. I mean, I want to hear that from, you know, if that's a driver of my race car. I want to see that fire, and I want to see that passion, what it takes to be a champion, and he certainly is one, and that's on full display right now. And sometimes that's what you get, especially as you go, you know, to a live interview in the thick of the moment, showing you guys at home just what it's like behind that steering wheel in real time. But here we go again, one more time. Now that foursome of the Purcell brothers is somehow completely wiped out of the equation. Lilith Peters still hanging on, is going to have to do it again, but now the silver bullet is on the front row. He kind of did not have good corners 1 and 2 on that initial restart, which kind of set up the melee that unfolded when the 0-0 dive bombed the 10.
Speaking of, you got the 0-0 sitting here in 12th, and not too far behind him is the 10.
They have a faster pair left.
We have to watch out for those two. They might not be done.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. Green flags out. 10 to go. 27 in the 1. Battle it out again. The 1's going to pull ahead as she has so many times before. Silver Bullet's going to chase those. Got his crosshair set on the 1. Can he chase her down?
But don't look now. Here comes the 28 machine. He said he had the freshest Dr. Feelgoods out there, and he is showing everyone right now that he does, as he's currently drag racing down into the corner, working the bottom side of the racetrack.
Caution.
Caution back onto the racetrack as we are bringing you the pictures from the lead for the up front, and as the camera pans to find out exactly where the incident occurred or who caused the incident on the racetrack, that is yet to be seen. But yet again, how many restarts does Lilith Peters have to execute to win this race?
Well, at least one more, that's for sure.
And I'm not sure what's going on with that 27 machine. It just doesn't fire off how he wants to. And I've had plenty of race cars like that where it takes a lap or two to get that thing rolling. So you know this is not what that 27 wants to see. This is falling right into the hands of that 67 and that 28 with those fresh Dr. Feelgoods on that race on those race cars. But again, the 1 of Lilith Peters has been sound, has been executing at a very high level, restart after restart, as we see. Oh, it looks like the 10 has a wheel that's not spinning, or looking like it should be spinning on that car. Yeah, he's got a broken spindle. The 10 may have been involved in something else again on the racetrack.
Okay, that's definitely an indication. Let's see if we can actually keep it on the 10 and jump back to when the caution came out at least and see. Oh, yeah, here we go. All right, let's take another angle. And the 16 just kind of mixing it up there.
Yeah, the 10 and the 16 there kind of getting after one another there.
I think
or at least
that,
it looked
yeah,
like from
we're
that
seeing,
angle anyhow.
We're seeing the after effects here. My bad, 10 here. Oh, getting a big run, but it looked like the 16 might have broken something as he turned hard right into the wall right in front of the 10.
Yeah, it certainly looked like some kind of equipment failure there. As he just, Christian Delgado quickly changed directions there abruptly on the racetrack. Oh, he got loose. The back tires just didn't bite coming off the corner, and you're chasing the car like we've seen a couple different times over the course of this race with this next gen car in this concrete. Just randomly giving drivers fits and losing grip, and it doesn't want to stick.
Well, she's gonna have to do it again.
Lilith Peters, do you got another one in you? And I think you do. I think everyone else watching this race tonight, I think you've shown us how much drive and determination that you have to go out there and compete with these boys. And if you haven't by now, you've definitely earned my respect, and I think you've earned their respect. You go out there and you get yourself a win. You're certainly deserving of it. But it's not guaranteed though. It's not a check in the box just yet. You still got that 27, the 67, the 28. They have all shown speed late in this one. And the guy in the catbird seat right now, that 28, has the freshest tires out there if anybody. Cliff, what are your thoughts on this?
Man, I would like to see, I mean, obviously, it's like everybody else out there, I want to see these guys get this run in and finished up, and I just hate it for the one car to have to keep just restarting over and over and over again. I mean, obviously, she's got it figured out, but at any moment, every time she's got to do another restart is just more potential for mistakes to be made and for her to potentially lose this race with a mistake, and I hate to see that. So my thoughts are, let's get this one finished up. Let's finish it under green, and let's give these folks at home a show.
And a show they have gotten as we hit the Geico restart zone again. Lilith Peters brings them down to the green flag one more time. But look at the 28 giving a push to the 27. Can he get a better turns 1 and 2 coming off the restart? No, he's going to get overtaken by the train. And the train is the 67 and 28 as they continue to charge up to the back bumper, closing in on Lilith Peters. But it looks like everyone is going to come around and complete lap 1. That leaves just 4 laps to go under green flag as the 68 and the 28 are battling door to door, bumper to bumper as it stands right now.
Here we go, the 28. We talked to him. He is on the move. He's going to be the one that's going to have to chase down that one car. And they both are running the fastest.
Oh, big wheel.
Oh, yep. Going to touch the wall there a bit. That's not going to help. Gap now just under 1 second.
Gap now just under 1 second, just like you said. But time is running out. And is the 28 and the 67 do battle? That's exactly what the one machine wants to see right now, is that 27 starting to get that car wound up and bring his way back into the picture. The 28 machine up 13 spots. He is in the second position. Does he have time to get one more and take over that one spot? I don't think so, as the clock is running out. But look at all this fierce competition going right off in the back of that race car as you see a line of Hornets basically lining up, shaping up to take aim before that time on the time on the clock expires here in Dover.
Lilith Peters is going to come around the last lap, the one that matters the most, to win the Holyoke Cornhole Boards 200 here at Dover.
I don't think anyone has a cornholio board left in this one, as it has been a barn burner from the drop. Oh, trouble on the racetrack. Save it, save it, save it. He's down into the grass, but it's still, oh my goodness, what a save by Purcell. Oh, he's going to come back up on the racetrack. He's still spinning. Doink! Oh!
Luckily, this one's over, so no harm, no foul there, but a little bit of a mess there for that 00 at the end.
a little bit of a mess, but the 0-0 keeps it rolling. The caution does not come out, and Lilith Peters reigns victorious. Restart after restart after restart. Burn that house down in that one machine. You have earned it. What a drive by the one, statement maker win. This one has been wild, and it has been worth watching every minute of it, as the one machine is number one at Dover.
Absolutely, as the 67 of Justin Horton and Lilith Peters' teammates here celebrate at the start finish. We've got Justin Horton here in the booth with us. Justin, you got us?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right, you can hear me over all that commotion. I love it. 28 of Peter Terrio is going to join in there. We're just going to give you guys a moment here to enjoy this.
Oh yeah, it feels good.
And a moment they deserve, as they just put up one whale of a race here in prime time tonight that had everyone on the seat of their pants for a majority of this race. I know I haven't sat down in a long time.
Well, Justin, congrats to P3. Heck of a run here and quite the celebration. I think we got 3 blown engines out here on the front stretch. Take us through your race, man.
This race was, it went from me being up and down all race, was inside the top 5, lap car got into me, had to get the damages repaired. Luckily I had a repair available, was able to get the car back in shape. It was a good race around the field between Lilith, Peter. This has been an amazing season start so far. I've finished in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It feels really great. Happy to be where I am.
Well, we appreciate you being out here running. Congrats again to P3. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we send you back to celebrate?
Yeah, shout out to Luna Steak Sauce and Foxfire Foods. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring us this season and putting in all the work. I have to shout out Kaiju Cap Motorsports. Sorry for the fumble. And I got to thank Jeremy Flanagan for putting me in this car and trusting me to be on the team, taking me in and being an absolute amazing owner. I got to shout out Lilith Peters, an amazing driver, getting an amazing win. Just crazy talent. Get to learn from under her wing. I got a shout out to Evan Clapper. I have great teammates, great support system. It all comes together for the races. I got a shout out detailing by Brandon. Just a great support system around me, and I'm super glad to have it. Shout out to you guys for broadcasting. Shout out to Blue Gray Plastic Fabrication for sponsoring the league.
Well, great. We appreciate the shout-outs, and hopefully we'll talk to you again at Vegas. Good luck.
Oh, yeah. Thank you guys for having me in here. Thanks for broadcasting.
There you have it. Justin Horton coming across the line, P3. And we'll jump to Peter Terrio, our reigning champ, crossing the line in 2nd. Had a run at it for the win, but couldn't chase down the 1. Peter, heck of a run there at the end after we talked to you. P2, not too shabby. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I needed the good points. I've had a rough start to the season. Really felt like I did everything I could there at the end. I had the fresh tires. I was kind of catching her, but not as much as I needed to. Needed probably like 5 more laps to even get within bumping distance. But yeah, I mean, I can run away from here knowing that I got some good points that I really well needed. I was like 19th or something in points coming into here. After having a really good season last season, it was basically these first 3 races have been a gut punch. So this is a nice little breath of fresh air. Man, really, honestly upset with how the rest of the race went, though. A bunch of cautions that didn't need to be cautions, and then obviously my incident with Nathan Christensen, where I really have no idea what he was doing there. So, you know, really unfortunate stuff to happen there, but I got to thank I just want to say this before I thank, you know, the people who really made this all happen. I want to say thank you to Justin for racing me clean there at the end, because he could have, you know, held me up if he wanted to make sure I didn't even have a chance at Lilith, or, you know, doored me or whatever he wanted to, but he didn't, and he raced me super clean, and that's what I expect from him, so I'm really happy that came about.
Well, we appreciate that perspective. Absolutely. Peter, congrats on P2. Before we send you back to celebrate, anyone you want to shout out to?
Yeah, so once again, Chad Snyder, team owner here at Dominion, my third full-time season with them, and almost was looking for the fourth career win right here, but just didn't quite get it. Got to thank my teammates, Sean and Christian Delgado. Both of them had really bad fast cars tonight, and I just got caught up in incidents, especially Sean there at the end. That was, man, pretty insane. And got to thank Enar, which is iRacing community that's run by me and Christian Delgado. All the support we get over there. I got to thank Fanatec for, I run their wheel and pedals, and it's great. David Lorfano for the button box I'm using, and I really appreciate that. Also got to thank twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13. That's Christian's Twitch, so definitely go check that out. And I think that's it.
All right, Peter. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and congrats again on P2. Good luck next week out. I think we're out at Vegas.
Oh wow, Vegas! All right. Yeah, thank you. I'm excited for that.
All right, rock and roll. That was Peter Terrio, our P2 finisher. We'll go ahead and grab Lilith Peters and drag her in, and so you gotta find her here on the list. Matt, this one's all yours.
Lilith Peters, Matt Meller up in the broadcast booth. Do you got me?
Hello.
Lilith, that black voodoo cloud which has somehow plagued you from multiple wins that you should have had this season struck early on, but it has lifted. You came all the way back through the field. Then you had to execute probably restarts of a lifetime, time and time again. And you come home tonight in dominating fashion. I picked you to win this evening from the drop of the green flag. You can go back and watch it. And what a statement win. Congratulations. How does it feel to finally punch through and get one here in Dover?
Thanks, Matt. I'm glad you picked me. Maybe that's what I needed. But I really love this track. One of my favorites.
Well, that certainly showed as you were able to overcome adversity, adapt and overcome, and just take it to the house, restart after restart. Cliff and I were just, amazed at how well you were able to make that Camaro just take off out of a cannon and just fire off time and time again. And just the speed on that race car, especially when it had clean air. I mean, walk me through that race. Did this kind of go in the direction you thought, or did you kind of have to adjust and adapt to it real time as you were going through the motions?
I was a little thrown for a bit of a curveball because I didn't really get to practice this week till like an hour before it started, and the last time I'd gone here, it was so tight. But tonight, I don't know if it was the conditions or it's super loose off the corner, like wrecking loose, like Atlanta. So I had to figure out how that worked, but that kind of goes to my style, and thankfully I only messed up once all race.
Yeah, you bring up a great point about it being loose up top. It seemed like on those restarts, that outside lane particularly had trouble putting the power down, and that unfortunately is where you had your demise. Were the restarts especially difficult on the top side on the high groove?
I was trying first gear, so Cameron was using first that whole time and not wrecking somehow. So I was just using second after that unfortunate accident. And it was enough to keep me in the lead still. It's not worth the risk in my opinion, but that's why.
No, certainly great call by by you in the race car as well, just finding a gear that worked for you in that machine. But I mean, you weren't the only one that seemed to have those types of troubles, restarting again in the second groove up near the wall where it seemed like it was really difficult. I mean, you punch through, you get the win here tonight. I think there's many more wins for you to come for you this season. Cliff, anything you want to throw in before we let her thank everyone who helps her put that race car together week in and week out?
No, I'm just happy to be here again and talk to you again, Lil, in the booth. I'm gonna make Matt pick you from here on out, so let's see a bunch more wins. Congrats.
Glad to see you back, Cliffy.
Thank you.
Well, there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Lilith, who do you want to thank on that machine? Who helps you get it done each and every week?
Oh yeah, the Cup Series sponsor this year, Blue Gray Plastic Fabrication. And then I had a new paint. Well, it's not really a paint. It's a test car, basically, but Luna Steak Sauce. You can get that at foxfirefoods.com. Hopefully next week I'll have a better paint for you guys. And hopefully it'll be in Victory Lane. And thank you guys for broadcasting. I'm sure it was great.
Yeah, it was a heck of a show up here, high in the booth. We appreciate you for putting it on. Oh, congrats again.
Yeah,
hopefully
and
we get to
thanks to my
talk to you
team.
again next week. Sorry. I thought you were done.
No, you're good. I was about to shout out Justin real quick. He got a P3, and then Evan had a good race, but he got wrecked, or wrecked himself. Hopefully we can come strong next week.
Absolutely.
Well, there she is, ladies and gentlemen, your winner here tonight from the Monster Mile, which proved to be tumultuous for others, multiple competitors here tonight having incidents, but one driver, the one car, Lilith Peters, comes home P1 here tonight. She is your winner as we close out prime time. Cliff, this race was drama action-packed from the word go here tonight. So many different storylines to make ends of over the course of the week as this series charges on. But something new I learned that you told me, every 4 races, they take a little bit of a 1-week break to kind of just regather themselves, regroup, probably much needed after tonight.
You're absolutely right. And, I thought we were going to be off next week, but threw myself a curveball because we will be back next week, February 7th at Las Vegas, where we are going to roll the dice, have a good time. That'll do it for us here today from Dover. We'll go ahead and run through our final results. Peters, Terrio, Horton, our top 3 as we talk to them. Cameron Harris, man, that silver bullet almost got it done here. Comes across 4th. David Lorfano, the 3rd, is going to finish 5th with Nathan Christensen behind him in 6th. Patrick McQuaid makes his way all the way back up to 7th after some early trouble. Sean Purcell in the 00 in 8th position. Rodney Uberpacker finishes 9th with Adam Angerstein finishing 10th.
In 11th, that's going to be Travis Juggles in the 11th position. In 12th, the 20 machine of Larry Garnes. 13th, the Toyota of Joshua Hedden. In 14th, that's going to be David Hara coming home in 14th position tonight. 15th, Cole Martin. 16th, Evan Clapper. 17th, Jim Hubble. 18th, Jeremy Flanagan. 19th, that's going to belong to Scott Leonardo da Vinci. In 20th, Kyle Purcell, who had a shocking incident with his brother late in that one that resulted them both crashing into the outside wall and going for a wild ride as we closed out the final laps. In 21st, Tyrone Yo, who had speed at times tonight, but unfortunately gets caught up late, winds up 21st. 22nd, Christian Delgado, and rounding out the field of 23 starters tonight, coming home 23rd, the 69, Johnny May.
There you have it, folks. Thank you for watching tonight, and we appreciate you joining us here on a Tuesday night. We'll be back next week for Las Vegas action, same time, same channel. Be sure to like and subscribe, and check us out at simracingmedia.com. So from Matt and myself and everybody back at the SRM studios, we thank you for watching. Have a good night.